Hello and welcome back to my channel, Care, Age and Thrive with Dr. Lana. Of course, that's me, Dr. Lana. And if we have not met before, I am a general practitioner of more than 20 years, but I also have a passion for caregivers. I'm also a gerontologist, which, what does that mean? Study of all things aging, everything to do with older persons, including and especially the family caregiver. The majority of persons who are older are taken care of by a family caregiver. And so, caregivers, you are to be applauded, I always say. And you're all heart. You're the unsung heroes, the ones who continue to just plod on with all heart and soul and care. And this is a channel that is just for you. Just for you. Just for you. Now, in addition to my actual official work, I've also had an experience, my own personal experience with my loved one, my older loved one, my gran. I always talk about her. And using that passion, that experience, the knowledge that I would have had, clients I would have seen on my journey and hearing their stories, the caregivers and the older ones, and just seeing how caregiving has become, well, there is thankfully increasing knowledge and regard for the older person. But what about caregivers? So today, caregivers, do you have a safe space? Do you get your time out? That's what we're going to talk about today. And not just the what is a safe space, but why you need a safe space. What do I mean when I say a safe space? And how can it be beneficial not only for you, but also the family as well as your caregiver. Remember, the principle of this channel is a community. It is not the doctor's office. Any medical advice you need, any problems you may be having, any symptoms you may have, any feeling of caregiver stress or burnout that is, more than you can manage, or if you have any illnesses, please seek the advice of your medical doctor. So, with that out of the way, we're going into our fantastic discussion. And I love this expression because I love the idea of a safe space. And I was speaking to a client, one of my clients who's on a course of mine for caregivers. I asked her, it came to me, do you have a safe space? And she thought, well, what do you mean? And you know where that came from? Watching a picture or remembering a picture of many years ago, which had this concept of safe space. And where the mother, without calling names, obviously, where the mother and daughter, they had to run from persons who were against them, persons who were um, threatening their space, their safety in their home. And so the protagonist, the lady in the actress in the whole thing, they had a safe room, what they called a panic room. And I thought of the expression panic room. And of course, I don't want to panic you. So I thought, well, you know what? A nicer expression would be probably safe space. It gives the same idea, and it also helps you, the caregiver, in self care. This is what we're all about, self care, and knowing when you need that timeout, that safe space. Slightly different from burnout, slightly different from all the other little bits of care and so on that we would have spoken about in our previous episodes. So, welcome to episode 6. Let's get right into it, shall we? And feel free, if you are new to the channel, if you have seen me before, leave your comments, ask any questions in this live. This is the live for you. I love the lives, and because they're so organic and we get to interact. and I love the interaction. So feel free, and also join me if you have any other questions, and to get access to a wonderful handout. I think I've made designed for caregivers. My special handout, 21 tips to thrive. If you join me on, um, we'll talk about that a bit later, but I'm sure 21 tips to thrive is something that you think about. Yes, it includes safe space. So let us talk about it. And remember to like, before I always forget this, like, subscribe, and press the notification bell if you found this information helpful to you. So, what is a safe space? Panic room, secret room. Does that mean that I want you to leave the house if you are a family caregiver of especially an older relative, a spouse, anyone who's unable to take care of themselves, really? Remember, you need your time out as well. It cannot be, you're not a 24/7 hour service. You're not all the clock open. The emotional toll that, all the joy that caregiving can bring, it you just need some time away. You just need a break. You need some time that is your own space, but you may not necessarily be in a position to leave the house all the time. So, how do you get across that? How do you find a space for yourself when you feel as though you have no way, no time out, as it were? There's no allowance for your for your needs. Now, so a secret room, a secret space. Let's go by the dictionary definition. So the Cambridge Dictionary definition: as a secret room in a building where people can go to protect themselves when in danger. That's a wonderful explanation as far as maybe panic room goes and danger goes, and maybe people who are in be thinking about panic room as though someone is in danger from burglars, or people who want to kidnap you, or people who have no good intentions towards you, and you have in your room and more people, celebrities or not, people with who can invest. Some have decided, you know what, I need a place in my home that is a fortified place. That's the other definition of a panic or safe room: a fortified room installed at home. I'm going to charge this battery. Give me 1 second. Yep, just when you thought it was safe to come up the road, the Google Gremlins get you. So, welcome. I'm back here. So, safe room, panic room, fortified room that is installed in a private residence or in a business to provide shelter, safety, or hiding place from inhabitants in the event of a break-in, or maybe a natural event, well, disaster, really. So you have somewhere safe to go. You know those bunkers of years ago, kind of like that. But this room is fortified. This room is secure. It's got, sometimes it might just be as simple as a closet where you might just need to hide for the moment. It may be a big, some have a big foundation, a big setup where you have security system, is access only known by the family members. It's some have steel line walls. There's adequate food in case you have to be locked down in the siege for a little bit. There's room, bed, that sort of thing. So, it kind of provides you with everything. It does connect. It should be strong enough to resist, again, weather. And sections of this room should be separated from the structure itself of the residence, so that when I say separated, it may be an annex. Some people do have an annex. Some persons may have it within the walls of their room, but as a separate, like, kind of inner wall. So either way, we get the concept of you being locked off or sealed off in a private, special place that's just yours. Now, why would you need to? And some characteristics of a safe space are it's has to be adequately grounded, obviously, and also it has to be able to provide you with a place that you can, an area that you can call someone else, call for help if necessary. All right, enough said. Safe space. The what? Why would you need a safe space? As you said, caregiving does bring such challenges. The older person, your spouse, your the person you're taking care of, that person may need sometimes it gets too much, isn't it? Sometimes it may be that they, in their thoughts, if there's a person with dementia, if it's a person who is starting to just have distortions and not understanding their situation, and they may start to say and accuse you. You know, in dementia, in Alzheimer's, there's always the an element of maybe delirium, an element maybe where they become, as we say, as I said, from caregivers, they just say such mean things. I had a client who said, her person just told her, leave the house, don't come back. But it wasn't meant to be said, but it hurt. And sometimes when we get to a place where it hurts, where comments may hurt, or if we feel a situation escalating and we've replied and it's not gotten anywhere, or if as a caregiver you recognize, you know what, I've just had enough. I've done everything I had to do. I've done my work. I may have had to come home from work to do this, and this is what's facing me. I need somewhere to just go where I can just be me, put on the no do not disturb sign, and everyone in the family knows this is, well, for me, Lana's safe space. This is my safe space. This is my room where it is impenetrable. And it doesn't have to be for like 45 minutes, an hour, 2 days. Let's come, we gotta be realistic. Sometimes you may just need a 2, 5, 6, 10 minute timeout. Just a timeout. That person, and believe it or not, as we said, it can have any sort of size. A small closet. So when you feel overwhelmed by the caregiving, if you feel that a conversation is escalating and you just need a little time out, gently you need to know, you need to get back to yourself. You need to just recalibrate your thoughts. Like, okay, I just can't take this no more. I need a space. I need a timeout. Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna get this break? Hi. And who am I gonna get to vent, to talk to? Because you may just need some practical help. You may just need a little space. Yeah. So if you can't actually leave the premises, you can't actually leave the property, what can you do? So we're gonna get into the how it can be done and in a safe way. And you come back out refreshed. All right. So how? Designate the room. I'm not saying you're gonna go now and go call the contractor and say I need a safe space away from this person. No, it can be as simple as your own room, your bedroom. It can be even more simple than that and smaller than that, where you just say, if situations are escalating or you just feel like you're overwhelmed, um, and this is kind of different from leaving and having delegated relatives or having someone else to come in and give you a timeout. This is when you just need a short break. You may just need a space to just be and calm your mind, calm your spirit, calm your heart, and just breathe for a minute and maybe call a friend. So it may be the bathroom, lock the door. You just say, I'm coming back. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to come back. And you go, and each time you do it, you're reinforcing in your mind and in their mind, and you let your family know this room, my room, or the bathroom is going to be my safe space. If someone else is in the home, you can say, well, I'm just going away for 5 minutes. Someone else, not the person you're taking care of, because remember, that may not be possible. They may not be tracking what you're saying. And you don't also want them to think you're just too much for me. I got to get rid of you. No, because that's not what you're doing the caregiving for. But we acknowledge it can be overwhelming. So go in the bathroom, go in your bedroom, lock the door. Just sit in the tub, sit on the toilet, lean over the sink, go in your room, sit on a chair, sit on a bed. And what do? Take 3 deep breaths first. Let's just do that. In for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. I'll just give one of that here. You can repeat it as often as you want. So let's do that. In for 4, pause for 2, out for 6. Pause for 2, out for 6. And you repeat that. That settles the brain. It tells the brain, I'm going into a different state. I'm going to be, this is my space. This is my timeout. This is my respite, my little space, my little corner in the house where I just need to go away for 2 minutes, 5 minutes to get back, to get myself back. So by all means, designate a safe space in your home. Let family members know. Sometimes there's also a wonderful site, which is another reference. I've left it in the comments below. Caregiver Help Desk, Caregiver Action Network, actually. And they talk about respite on location. So if care in the home, you may also just say, well, look, maybe I need a little 15 minutes. And they suggest having volunteers. So you may have a friend who you know is a go-to. I mean, that has been established sort of. I've known caregivers who've done it. I've done it. We've done it in our family. Caregivers who persons who are on a volunteer basis. They may be a person who's retired, a retired nurse, or a friend next door, who may be able to just come in. If you're not really safe, just like closing the door and not knowing what's happening, mind you, it's only 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they can come in and say, you know what, I'm going to take this charge for you for the 5-10 minutes, and then let you go do something. So you're not going shopping or anything. This is just your time to spend, your space to breathe, to reflect on your why, again, why I'm doing this after all, why I need the space. And you know what it does for the person you're taking care of? It shows them that you are, again, putting your oxygen mask first. You are, again, prioritizing your health. And I assure you, even if the person is there have been studies that have shown, and I've seen it myself, even if they may not be processing what you're saying, processing that, oh, she's gone for what, 2 minutes. The fact that you've done it gently in love um, starts to calm the situation. They recognize that you are starting to take responsibility for yourself, to self care, so that you can come back better for them. And the more you do it, it becomes a habit. And a habit that is really going to make a difference in your life really makes a difference. And I'm starting my own habits. I started a 30-day challenge habit as well, just generally. But research shows it does take 66 days to really ingrain it. So take your time, set up your space. The space you may have chosen initially, you may want to go somewhere else, or just in the moment. You may want to just step outside the patio, go under a tree if it's possible. If it's cold outside and it's winter where you are, because it's always kind of like warmish where I am, although I personally am cold in Barbados for sure. It's that time of year. It's getting down to the end of the year. You want to enter a new year feeling empowered, feeling you have somewhere to go. You have somewhere that you can rest up a bit. As even Jesus told his disciples, let us go and rest up a bit. He was the ultimate caregiver. But so think of it. Even Jesus needed a little time out. No harm in that. So that's it. Safe space, time out, time for you. Take your deep breaths. Gently take your time away every day, mind you. It doesn't always have to be when you feel the burden. You're establishing a new habit, a healthy habit, a habit that will calm your mind and your heart, a habit that will bring you into the joys and not just the struggles of caregiving. And that helps to empower you, the person you're taking care of, as well as they see, you know what? I have someone who really does care enough about me to care about themselves first so that they can come back better for me. Do it for yourself. Do it. And it's challenging. Make the space. Do it for yourself. So what are you gonna do? Always call to action. Are you going to choose a safe space? Have you already done so? What do you call it? Do you call it your panic room? Do you call it your safe space? Do you call it your my timeout space? Whatever. It's yours. Take it, embrace it. If and see how it works. And let me know how it works. Leave in the comments what you're gonna do, when you're gonna do it, like tomorrow, like to now. And how it helped. And anything further, as you mentioned earlier, I have changed the email address. And so if you do want to engage me further, and we can talk a little bit more on the journey, on our, your journey, and you have any further questions, comments, queries, and we can engage a little more after this short period, you can find me. I'm available, and a little practical handouts and 21 tips to thrive for caregivers. You can email me at lanaandmd.com. Easy peasy, right? Oh boy, I had a time trying to figure that one out because I know the other one was a mouthful. So Lana at lanaandmd.com. Check that below. And until then, safe space, time out, no panic, all gentle. Love you all. It is a joy and a blessing. This year is coming swiftly to a close, and you're going to enter a new year, new you, committed to yourself. Like, subscribe if this was helpful to you. Press the bell for more notifications. More to come, more tips, more collaboration, and just more ways to find to take care of your beautiful souls. So, thank you for your time. I, as usual, had an awesome time. And well, Phoenix the cat, he's sleeping, but he was here too. He was enjoying the time. Boy, do cats know how to take time out. Yes. Until then, have a fantastic time. Enjoy. Stay safe. Be kind to yourself. Oxygen mask first. Mwah.